The Copy Companion has 5 different tools or scripts that will help automate copying folders or files or tabs in Google Drive. So the homepage, the info page shows you what the tools are, what they do, how to run, and then some tips. So if you look up here, there's this copy tools menu that shows up when you open the spreadsheet. So if you click on there, you see those 5 tools and then a couple of helper tools. So let's go over these one by one. Let's start with copy folders. I'm going to click on this tab. I've already pre-filled what the links that are needed. So what I'm going to do with this, I want to copy this folder here. This is my essay folder. So if I go here, here's an essay folder. It has a subfolder. It has reading assignments with several documents there. And then it has 2 extra documents in it. So I'm going to make 3 copies of that to begin with. I'm going to put a prefix on each one so they'll have a number so I can tell them apart. That's what this is. This is optional. You might put a student name if you're just copying one, for example, into their folder. The destination folder, this is where all of your copies are going to be stored. So I've created a folder called unassigned folder. So I'm going to make some copies right now that I can later move into my student folders. You can also, like I said, if you're just copying one and you do a prefix or you have the student name, maybe you put their folder here. Okay, so the instructions are on row 2, the first columns. A is just your notes. So you can see that I just put that this is the essay folder. This is the link of the essay folder. So you can see what's required to enter and what is not. You don't have to have a prefix. You don't have to have a destination folder. If you leave that blank, the folder will go into just your Google Drive. Now to run, you go up to Copy Tools. Actually, I want to show you that my unassigned folder has 1 essay folder in it right now, and then some other documents that I was playing around with. So actually, since this one starts at number 1, I'm going to change this prefix to start at number 2 so I can add to that. All right, let's do it. So copy folder, you'll see that there's a running script that comes up, and then you need to wait for the script to run. So what it is doing, it is going out, it is grabbing that folder, it is making a copy. When it sees the subfolder, it makes copies of the subfolder. So depending on the size of your folder and how Google is running that day, this is maybe limited to time. So Google basically has a 6-minute time limit, and after that time, it'll run the script, and after that time, it times out. So what I recommend is you start with a small number of folders or just one folder to begin with, and then add to that. So like I said, it really depends on the size of your folder and what you're doing. I can go to my unassigned folder. Here's number 2. So remember, I just showed you when we only had 1. So it's got 1 done already. So you can actually go and watch it as it happens. Let's check that out. There's my subfolder. There's 2 other documents. And in the subfolder, there are all of my documents. So that is done. Now there's 3, so you see that it's working, and now there's 4. So let's go back to my script. It's going to be finishing up here pretty quickly. And when it is finished, it is going to, there you go, list what it has done. So there's the names of the essay folders, the new links. So if you didn't know what folder or wherever, you can actually come here and find them, the status, no error message. So we're all good. So that's how we copied a complete folder 3 times into a master folder, or it could go into your drive if you don't assign the folder. All right, let's check out the next one. The next is copy file simple. So this is going to copy one file 5 times. In this case, however many copies you want to make. So I'm actually going to change that and say 2 times. This is also going to my unassigned folders. You see that I actually had done this before with the prefix. So I've already got 5 in there. So let's put a new prefix and just call it new. Now notice if I do a prefix, it's going to put that on all of the document. So if you use a number, let's use a number. Let's start at 101. Then it will add that to each document starting at 101. So you go up to copies. This is called copy file simple. So copy tools, copy file simple, run the script, and this should go faster because you're only doing a couple of links. A little note about the source links. There we go. We're done. And there they are, starting at 101 and 102. Back to the source links, it's going to copy most file types, except for Google Forms, but you can put a PDF in there, you can put a spreadsheet, Google Slides, whatever you want. So let's look up here. Remember, I had the ones before. There's 101. Where's 102? Let's go ahead and refresh. There it is. So sometimes you do have to refresh your screen or your browser so that it shows up the folders. All right, so copy files is done. Now let's look at the next one. This is copy files advanced. So what this is going to do now, it's actually going to copy more than one file. So in this case, I've got 3 different documents that I want to copy. I have my Common App prompts. I have a question bank with brainstorming questions, and I have my college companion affordability. So I want to copy each of those into 3 different folders. So let's open those folders and check those out. So Anne's folder right here, none of those documents are in there. I have Gilbert's folder. He's only got the college companion spreadsheet. And then I have folder. She's got the spreadsheet and some session notes. So different contents. So again, this is going to copy 3 different documents. There's the links to those 3 documents. It's only going to do one. That's your default. I don't want a prefix. I want these named the same. And so each of these 3 into each of these folders. So it's going to give me a total of 9 copies, which is what I want. So this is copy files advanced. I'm going to click that and it's going to run. Okay, and now it's done. 9 total copies, so that's what we wanted. Click OK. It's going to show you everything that it copied with the new links, but I'm going to go and check out these folders again. So here's Anne's. You may need to refresh, so let's refresh. There they are. So there's the question bank, there's the affordability planner, and down here at the bottom are the prompts. Gilbert, same thing. There's the question bank. Let's refresh. Common App prompts and the affordability planner. And then Diana, again, let's refresh. And you see all 3 documents. So nice way to add documents to existing folders. So if you just want to add 1 to 10 folders, try that. The next script is the copy tab. So this is for spreadsheets. Basically what it's going to do, it's going to take a source spreadsheet. In this case, I'm going to use Steve Antonoff's College Match, which he has given us permission to copy these 3 tabs. So you have his values assessment, college success traits, and the self-survey for the college bound. So I want to copy all 3 of these tabs to my student spreadsheet. So here's Anne. You can look and see to the right at the bottom that this those sheets are not included. There's Diana's and there's Gilbert's. So I want to add those three. So I have one source spreadsheet, but I have 3 tab names. So I put the tab names in here, and then these are the 3 spreadsheets I want to copy to. So I'm going to go to copy tabs to existing students, and run the script. Okay, as it finishes, it's going to put what it's done. Here's your output notes. So we're done with Anne, we're done with Gilbert, now we're done with all. So we click OK. Let's go look. Here's Anne. Remember, she didn't have those. There are the 3 values: college success traits and self-survey. And I can check Diana's. There they are at the end. So when you are copying tabs, it is adding them to the existing sheet. If there's already a values assessment or any other tab that you're copying, it will add the name copy of. In this case, these were brand new tabs, so it left off the copy of. So that's kind of a nice feature of that. Okay, so that's your copy tabs feature. The last one we're going to look at is the replace tabs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to replace those 3 tabs. So what this is used for is if I go to an existing tab and I change something. So in this case, I'm going to change the color to make it really obvious. I'm just going to change the color of the heading. Let's make this one purple. Whoops. Okay, so just so that you can see the difference. So there's the 3 tabs. This time what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace them in those same 3 spreadsheets. So here's my spreadsheets. Here's Anne. You can see that we're just going to be looking at the heading. What this script does, it's different from copy to. Copy to, if I added, just adds it to the end. Replace will actually delete what is already there, replace it with the new tab. So you only want to do that if you're really sure you're okay deleting what you have. So I'm going to replace tabs in existing sheets, run the script, and you can actually go, and when these scripts are running, you don't have to sit on this page. You can run it and then go do some other work. So I'm going to look at Anne's, and you can actually see it happening. So you can see that it's already replaced the values. There's the success traits. There's the college match. So it's already replaced hers. And there's the script. Now it's done with Gilbert's, and then it'll move on to Diana's. So you can see here's Gilbert's. It's got those bright colors now at the top, so you can see that it has actually replaced and not added to it. So that's how that sheet works. When it's done, you can click OK. It gives you the output. You're ready to go. So that's the quick demo. The last thing I'll show you is how to clear in a quick way. You can obviously just like copy this. If I want to clear that out and hit delete, that's one way. But let me show you this other way. We can clear output rows, which is basically going to clear this column. So especially when you get a bunch, it's kind of nice to just go clear very quickly. You are done. So it's clearing the output rows, which are the shaded gray columns. If you want to clear the setup row, you can use clear setup row, which is just going to clear B through E, all of these columns. It leaves everything in column A, so you don't have to worry about overwriting that, because that is your column just to add notes. So you can keep that. You can use that for anything you want. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. This is a tool to save you time, and hope that you enjoy using it.